What is that headshot? Can we put that screen back up for a second? Just put that. What is that? That is not the picture that I sent in when I was asked, what picture do you want for the cover of this live stream? I don't even remember doing that. That's the honest truth. Hey, chat. Welcome back. Happy 2022. Welcome back to the first VS Code live stream of 2022. We're excited to be back with you. What's today? The 20th. All right, we're 3 weeks into the new year with our first live stream. And here's what we'd like to know, chat, from you. First of all, what I'd like to know is what technology are you excited about this year? Somebody asked me this question the other day, and I had to think for a little bit about what technology is it that I'm super excited about. I got a lighting kit for my Lego set that I'm pretty excited about. I haven't put it in yet, but I don't know if that qualifies or not. Yeah, Next.js, that's a good one. What else, chat? What tech are we excited about this year? And then while you're thinking about that, what we'd also love to know from you is what kind of content would you like to see this year from our streams? Or from just our YouTube channel in general? You know, do you want tutorials? Do you want more shorts? Do you want me to dance more? Do you want more headshots like that? Do you want to be on the live streams? I mean, we'd love to have you on as a guest. Do you want to be a guest? Hey, that's a possibility. So just let us know what you'd like. We'd love to know. Valve Index 2. Yeah, VR. That's pretty cool. React and Svelte. We're still excited about React in 2022. Is it okay to still be excited this much time later? People like the shorts. Do I use the VS Code Pets extension that I talk about in the short? No, of course not. Lego light kits, yes. All right, so here's what we're doing today. We are going to build a resume using nothing but GitHub and deploy it. We're going to do that in 30 minutes. Now, here's the thing. Some of this is, you're going to look at it and say, well, this is kind of like, I already know HTML, and that's cool, that's fine. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you how you can code in a browser, do live preview, and deploy all basically just by using GitHub, right? So if all you had was a Chromebook, you should be able to do all of this. And the other thing is, if you follow along with us, listen, there's nothing more developer than when somebody asks for your resume and you point them to GitHub, right? So we're going to give you this beautiful resume layout that you're going to be able to reuse. You're going to love it, right? And if you don't know HTML or web dev, you're kind of new, you're most welcome here. And you're going to learn something today. This is going to be especially for you. So without further ado, to help me do that, because I can't do it alone. I can do anything alone. I'd like to welcome Ornella to the stream. What's up, Ornella?
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
We're doing well. Chat, say hello to Ornella. Ornella, tell the chat as they say in Office Space, what is it that you do here?
I am an education cloud advocate here at Microsoft. You may know me from the VS Code Getting Started videos. I still get a lot
right. It's pinned. That's the one you see when you go to our page.
Yeah, it was, I didn't know that it was going to be the first thing that popped up when you download VS Code. But here we are, and now everyone sees my face when they download VS Code. It's okay. We're dealing with that. And
did you ever think when you were a child where you're like, one day my face will be the face of one of the most popular developer tools in the world?
Not quite.
Dreams come true.
So on the education advocacy team, we try to think of ways to make technology easy for students and also useful. And I think when I was in college, I really wanted to be one of those kids who had their resume on a website, but I didn't know HTML and CSS. It was really hard. I tried. There's so many, if you don't do this, please, but if you go deep into my GitHub, you will
They're going to do it now.
You will see all of the failed attempts in the GitHub graveyard. But yeah, we wanted to make it really easy for someone who wanted to do something like this to just do it all in the browser. And so we created this workshop that we'll walk through today.
All right, so we're about to do that. Before that, Chow says hi. Marshall says hello. So many people saying hello to Ornella. Thank you, chat. Y'all are so nice. Y'all are so wonderful. Okay, so with that, shall we do it? Like, let's just jump in and do it.
Let's do it. So
right.
Burke is going to share his screen. And like Burke mentioned, this workshop is truly for absolute beginners. So it will explain to you how to create a repository on GitHub, how to create an HTML file inside of github.dev, like really, really basic things. So if you're anywhere in your coding journey, you should be able to follow along. I think for the purposes of time today, we might skip over some things, but just know that this resource is available for you. It's at aka.ms/resume workshop if you want to follow along. And we'll put that link up on the screen. And yeah, shall we?
Get started? Let's do it. So I'm going to pop this out and put it side by side with my sound effects. Right there we go. All right, so.
Okay,
right,
so the first thing we're going to do is make a new repository on GitHub. And this is the one that's going to hold your resume. So let's call it something fun. There it is. And just make sure it's public and add a README file.
Easy peasy.
Cool. So you have your new public repository. Here's something awesome. If you just hit the period button on your keyboard while you have any repository open on GitHub, it will open said repository in github.dev, which is basically a browser-based VS Code. If you've used VS Code, this should look pretty familiar to you. There it is on the right. And we will now install one other thing. Burke, did you have something that you wanted to share?
No.
Oh, okay. So CodeSwing is an extension. And if you've used VS Code before, you know extensibility is one of the awesome things about it. And this extension will allow you to see the changes that you make to your files immediately after you make them. So if you're just learning how to use HTML or CSS, it's really useful because you type something in, you're trying something out, you're experimenting, and then you get to see exactly what that looks like. And then
installed, ready.
Yeah, I think you're good. If you don't have it installed, it'll say install, you click it, and then you're good. And then just the last thing, this is one of my favorite VS Code productivity tips, is to turn on autosave, because life without autosave is not great.
And CodeSwing has its own autosave. So I don't know how that's different, but we'll turn it on anyway. Can't hurt. Okay.
Burke, can you zoom in a little bit on the right screen, please?
No. Yeah, sorry, folks. Let me. Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. Chat, look. It's just. Okay, tell me this. I'll make this up. Is that good? That's probably better. We'll go there. I'm sorry.
That might be tough. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll adjust as we go. Let us know how it looks.
Okay.
Okay. So now we have all our tools set up. This is literally all you need. Just the browser window with github.dev open. So that's it. And now we're going to create our first HTML page. Again, if you don't know HTML, please refer to this workshop where it will give you a primer on what it is. Basically, in this workshop, we're going to use HTML to create the skeleton of our resume, including all of the content that goes in it. So like where you went to school, what your jobs were, etc. And then we'll use CSS to make it pretty. So in this first stage, it's not going to look good, but that's okay. So we're going to initialize this workspace as a swing, which in CodeSwing will allow us to do the preview, and we're going to do an HTML only. So now we have our index.html file in our root directory, which is where we're going to put all of the HTML for our resume.
I'm just trying to adjust size. I want chat to be happy with the size, but I also need space. All right, here we go.
Cool. So we're going to paste in this code block here. And what that's going to do is create the initial structure of your page. And so just to show off kind of how the CodeSwing works, Burke, let's replace your name. Boom.
Oh, I wanted it all caps. Yeah.
Cool. So you'll see that window on the right, it's automatically going to update with the information you've added. And so in the workshop, there's a awesome little table that has every single HTML tag and a description of what it does. We're not going to cover that right now, but that is there for you if you need it. And
yeah, we should point out there's something complicated in here for those who do know HTML. It's basically just sections, headers. That's it.
Right. So we have a body, main, articles, sections. That's all we're working with here so far.
Okay.
Cool. Let's go to the next step, which is where we're going to add all of our content to the HTML page. If you are doing this, well, if you're trying to follow along, this is probably the part that you're going to need to come back to later, because this is the step that takes the longest, which is actually putting all of your information about where you went to school, whatever, like all of the actual raw info into the HTML file, which is a lot for most people. And so just take your time with this. But one cool thing we're going to do here is create links to email and social media, which is a really fun thing to have on your resume, because also if you click those links, it will, you know, open a new message to your email or open your social media in a browser window. So we're going to learn how to do that. And there's going to be cute little icons, but we're not going to actually see them until we get to the CSS portion of the workshop.
So here we would put my email.
Yep.
But we'll leave it as is. You can picture my email there. And then down here, some social links.
Perfect.
Format. Yeah, it's formatting. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
So then we talked a little bit about lists. We're going to have, you know, a few different jobs and job titles and accomplishments, and there's going to be some lists in your resume. So we talk a little bit about unordered versus ordered lists in HTML. We're going to make an unordered list of all of our work experience entries.
I'm going to move this down
the
here
bottom.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this will be better. We can nice. All right. So we're going to put our work experience here. So I'm just going to copy this in. And then I'm just going to literally copy it over and over. This is the hardest part, right? I'm always like, when I put in my work experience, I'm like, is this, I don't know. What should I put here? How do I highlight my accomplishments?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Trying to figure out what those cool accomplishment bullet points are takes way too long.
It does. It's hard. It's hard to sum up your whole life in 3 bullet points.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Cool.
And then,
so then the last little section that we'll add in is in the skills section. And so some people like to have, you know, a little section that has all of their skills, like what programming languages you know, stuff like that. So we'll add that in. And then also the education section. So where you went to school, what year you graduated, etc. And then the other thing,
the skills section is a particularly nice thing to have for engineers, because with this resume, you'll also be able to print it out. We'll show you how.
Yep.
And when you send in your resume, recruiters are looking for buzzwords. So
yeah,
they're looking for a .NET developer. They're literally looking for .NET somewhere on your resume. So it's good to have a skills section where you just sort of like throw all your buzzwords there.
totally.
Okay.
And then the other thing people like to have on their resume is like a little blurb about who you are, like maybe what your personal mission is or stuff like that. Some people like to have a little blurb about that. So we'll add that.
Right here.
About you.
Okay.
Cool. So we have all the information in our resume.
Did I put in my education already?
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I did. I didn't remember doing that. Okay, sweet.
So we have that. And then we looked at all the HTML tags.
That's our resume so far. That's great.
You're going to notice the TikTok superstar is really just.
You like that? Hey, listen, they did send me a
Amazing.
cake. So my kids were horrified.
So maybe he is a TikTok superstar.
I'm not. All right. Let's make this
now
thing
we'll
look
get
good,
to the pretty part.
Yeah, this is rough on the eyeballs.
Okay. This part of the workshop has like a full intro to CSS. We'll talk about selectors, everything you need to know to make this look pretty. And what I would encourage is what we're building together today is a nice looking resume based on a template that Burke created. What you can do if you're starting off in your coding journey with HTML and CSS is learn more about those languages and then just experiment and make it look perfect for you. And so that's a really fun kind of way to explore these languages, especially with the CodeSwing, because you'll just be able to see all of your changes in real time. But we're going to make ours look pretty now because I can't look at it any longer.
So we're making good time here. I can't see the chat. Chat, I can't see you. Ornella, what's chat got? Check in with chat. What are they saying?
They're saying that the most marketable skill in 2022 is TikTok.
Yes, that is true. I have people clamoring my door with job offers. Don't.
They're just confirming what we already know, that Burke is a TikTok superstar.
This is true. I should post the picture of the cake that they sent me. If you're sending me a cake, you got to be sending everybody a cake. Oh no.
Okay, coming in late, how to go to CodeSwing. So if you go to the extensions section in github.dev, you can download CodeSwing. Yeah, so in the extensions, you can download CodeSwing and then open the command palette. So Command-Shift-P on a Mac, and it will show you all of the options. If you just type CodeSwing, it'll show you all of the commands that have to do with CodeSwing. What we did was initialize a new CodeSwing in Workspace and then created an HTML file there. And then that will automatically open the preview of your HTML file that it will create for you.
We should point out that if you're doing CodeSwing, you can do CodeSwing and include React and Bootstrap, and it will all preview right within the browser. We're not doing that because we're not building. We're just simple HTML, but you can. CodeSwing does support that for all my JavaScript people out there.
Yeah, it will also do you can create. There's templates for you can create a whole website project, and it will create all of the files for you. But like you said, this is a really, really intro level one. So we actually wanted to teach people how to create a new file inside of github.dev also.
So I've added the initial style here. Look at how much better it looks when all you do is change the font family. That's literally all this does. It goes from a serif to a sans serif font. If you take one thing away from this workshop, use a sans serif font.
Yeah, for sure. So every step in this part of the workshop is just making it look better and better.
So here
So in this part, we are kind of playing with the sizing of all of the text, making Burke's lovely name really big and look nice.
Changing the kerning between the letters here.
Yeah,
Okay.
adding some padding. Okay, so this part, we're going to use a CSS grid, which is kind of a new feature, but basically the structure we have right now is everything one after the other on our page. We're going to just create 2 columns so that we have some things on the left column. So stuff like your skills and your links and that kind of stuff. And then like the work experience part of it, the meat of it on the right column. So we're going to add some columns.
Yep. And it's just all this does is says that this first column is 40%, this second column is 60%. Just takes the first 2 elements.
Boom.
2 columns just like that, easy peasy. All right.
That looks so much better.
It does.
Yes. Okay.
Now we explain the box model.
The box model. So you'll see a lot of CSS in the upcoming kind of code block that talks about margins and padding. The box model is just a visual representation of how that actually works. So the margin on the outside, the padding on the inside of the box. And we're just adding some margins and
Ooh.
Oh my God, it looks so much better.
Look at how nice. So clean. All right. We are close to
The
done
way
here.
that the TikTok superstar comes up is just chef's kiss.
I'm actually going to publish this and make this my resume. Y'all, I'll do that for y'all, chat, because I care about you.
Stop. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is just add like a fainter gray line that divides the 2 columns just for some visual sugar. And there it is.
So just to remind everybody, this is what it looked like. This is what it is now. Woo.
Oh my God, so much better.
All right. Okay. Now what?
Oh, and finally, we're going to add the icon font. So remember when I said that our email and social media links are going to have really cute little icons next to them? This is the place where we add this font called Font Awesome, which Burke introduced me to. But it's really cute, and it makes these little, yeah, there they are.
Isn't that nice?
There's
tons to choose from too. There's Facebook. There's
yeah, you can add whatever
Twitter.
social media you want.
All right.
Cool.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. That's us. There we are. You know, the one thing I want to change here though that I don't like is I actually want to bump the font size up here. So it's going to look weird because we're all kind of zoomed in. But if we zoom out, like if you're looking at this at a normal size, which is this, the text actually looks a little better. And I probably will update that in the Okay.
Yeah, I think that does look good. Cool.
Now we are going to deploy it.
Yeah. The final step is we're going to put this thing on a website. And you may be surprised to find out that it literally just takes, I think we can full screen the workshop page now because we'll just be on GitHub. Cool. But it takes 1 second to deploy this to a website and it looks so good. Sorry, Bert, can you full screen the other screen, the other browser window?
I full screened the, can you not see the GitHub one?
No. We see the resume still.
Oh, what do you want to see? The other? Well, we'll go back because we got to commit here first.
Oh, right. You're right. Okay, so commit our changes. So we're just going to push all of this to our GitHub repo. I got ahead of myself.
People say initial commit when they commit. That's just what you're supposed to do. And then I like to add an emoji. Doesn't really matter which one, anyone. By the way, on Windows, did you know that Windows key period will bring up the emoji picker? Does everybody know that?
I didn't know that.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that right? Windows key emoji. Yeah, Windows key period.
Roll eye emoji in there.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. And then commit. But we don't have to push. Why don't we have to push?
Because we're already on GitHub.
All right, now what?
Okay, so now can you go to the other browser window with the GitHub?
Well, we'll go to the repository here.
Yeah.
This is my
So
repository.
yeah, so we're in the repository that has all the resume content, and we're going to go to settings, pages, and then we're going to select the source as the main branch, which is where you just committed all of those changes to. And we will save. And then we'll play some Jeopardy music while it deploys. But then it will give you a link right there.
To a nice 404 page.
But give it like 2 minutes. And that link is the one that you can copy and paste to all of your friends, to your recruiters, and say, hey, here's my resume.
The other thing you can do is you can go buy a .dev domain from Google Domains.
Oh, yeah.
It's like $8 a year, and then you can point it at your resume, or it could be yourname.dev/resume. Point that at your resume, which is what I do. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, isn't that what your link is like, Burke?
I think mine is burkeholland.github.io/resume, because I actually put, if you put it in a repository called resume, the link will literally be your username.github.io/resume, which again, if we're trying to impress recruiters looking for engineers, what's better than sending a GitHub link with your resume? Like that's peak, right?
It's good stuff.
So look, we have an environment now. It says it's active. Refresh.
Boom.
We're in business. And we mentioned you can print this. How do you do that?
So if you just print to PDF, well, you can print it, obviously, like a normal print, but you can also just save it as a PDF to your computer. I think when you made the text bigger, it made it no longer.
It does it? Because I don't remember looking like that. Let's zoom out.
But I mean, I think you can make it look, if you wanted to fit on one page, you can make it fit on one page.
Maybe that's why I did change the text. Maybe that's why I had it at 12 pixels instead of 16, was for the printing. Now I'm curious.
I bet that's true.
And by the way,
if you're going to make any other changes, you just commit them, and then it will redeploy on the GitHub side. So you'll see all of your changes on the website.
Yeah. You don't actually have to do anything. It will just, in fact, it should show up here and say in a minute, it'll pick it up and say that it's pending. So you have like your own custom build system here. It does take a second.
It's working hard. But yeah, so we know how to have your link to your resume. You can also print a PDF, save it on your computer so that if you need to upload it into, whatever job description application, you can do that. And also you can just print it. If you are old school at a conference and you need some paper copies, all of the options are available.
Yes. And go ahead and take my screen down if you would, and I'll come back to StreamYard. And it's good to have a printed copy of your resume, because usually when you're filling out, whoa, Inception. Is it gone?
Yes.
The screen gone? There we go. Because usually when you're in a system like Microsoft, for instance, you're applying for a job at Microsoft, they're like, upload a copy of your resume. So you have to have one, but you can print it to PDF. So, all right, chat. What do you think? This is helpful?
Any other questions? And yeah, let me just put the link back up. So if you want to follow along with the resume, click the link.
So Carl says, I have no option for CodeSwing initialize workspace as Swing. If that's the case, then you've already done it. Refresh, reload your browser. Yes, it will be available on YouTube. Y'all can go watch this again. We've got the link there for you. You can go through on your own time. Dave's got a .domain. Yes, nice. Tweet it out, Dave, and tag VS Code. Maybe I'll get them to retweet you. I don't know. They don't do what I say, but I'll try. Can you add emojis on your commits? Yes, you can. If you learn that, there you go. Absolutely. Never commit without an emoji. Come on.
The main thing to take away from today, never commit without an emoji.
This is good. Burke is similar to Burke, which is a delicious pie in Serbia. I am honored to be associated with a delicious pie. All right, what else here?
Oh my God, Clark, hi.
Take my star and get up. Thank you. Clark! Yo, Brian Clark is here. Put Clark back up for a second. Clark.
Hi, Brian. Where is he?
Everybody.
This is our good friend.
Brian's a sneak now. Sneak. SNYK, the security company. And we love him and we miss him. We do miss you, Brian. All right. Thank you so much, Ornella. Thank you for joining us today and helping us build a resume.
Oh my God, thanks for having me. Oh wait, one question. How can we start CodeSwing? So you download it inside of github.dev, make sure you have it installed, and then open the command palette, which is, what is it on Windows?
It's Control-Shift-P.
Okay, Control-Shift-P or Command-Shift-P on Mac, and then it will have all of the options for the CodeSwing.
Yeah, and mess around with CodeSwing. It does a lot more than what we just showed you. It does a lot. It's a very cool extension, and it's one of the things that we're looking at. And like, how can we use these browser-based editors? Well, CodeSwing is an interesting experiment that is going on. You should check that out and take a look at it. Tell us what you think. Here's an intro. Did you guys get the job at Microsoft in the first attempt? Also, would you guys like to give some suggestions on who's going to apply at Microsoft? This is a good question. I know we're going kind of long here, but I want to answer this. So Tony Stark, obviously you don't need a job at Microsoft because you're Tony Stark. But if you did, I interviewed at Microsoft 3 times and was rejected 3 times between the ages of 25 and 38. And then interviewed a 4th time when I was 38, and they were like, I guess. So that's how I got here. Ornella, how about you?
I was an intern many moons ago.
That's the way to do it.
But I interned as a PM in mixed reality. It used to be in mixed reality, and I feel like my experience was very different from obviously the job I have now, but then also like, I don't know, I've moved around a lot within the company. And so I would say if you can get an internship, that's probably I've never applied for an industry job. I don't know. I'm the wrong person to ask. I was just a little intern, and they were like, okay, do you want to come back full time? And I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yes, as it says, Microsoft sends you 4 programming questions. If you don't do all of them, they don't even call you back. So it does depend on what position you're interviewing for. They all have different processes. Like if you're going to be an engineer, you get asked technical questions. If you're going to be a PM, they look more for like your ability to organize, strategize, organize your thoughts, communicate clearly. But tips for getting a job at Microsoft, it's easier if you know somebody, of course, so that you can have that person tell the hiring manager about your resume, because they get a lot of resumes for positions. For instance, we hired for the VS Code, the advocacy team for this team, and we were just flooded with resumes. So that helps. And then it also really helps if you have a really nice looking resume. And that's true. And it's short, like 1 page, because what we tend to get is inundated with, as a hiring manager, I have to look at all the resumes, and 99% of them are like 8 pages long. And I'm out after the first page, right? Like this is all I can do. I can only read the first page. There's too many. So if you can fit it all nice and concise, people will really like that.
Yeah. I've interviewed a lot of people, and I think my interviews are less technical and more focused on how you work on a team and what things you find, what parts of technology you find interesting and stuff like that. So I think it also can be about the other skills besides just coding at a lot of different parts of the interview process.
This is true. I just realized this whole time I've been using my webcam mic, so the audio's been terrible. Thanks, chat, for telling me, for not telling me. He did. They were saying somebody was pointing that out. I'm really sorry about that. All right, chat. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to be back
Thank
next
you.
week. Producer, what are we doing next week? Are we doing Rust? What are we doing? We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. We're going to do Rust. We're going to do Playwright. We're going to talk about Playwright, which is like a automated testing. How can you fit 6+ years of experience onto a single page? Very carefully.
It's very hard.
It is hard. All right, y'all. I want you to have a great rest of your day, a fantastic weekend, and we will see you back here next week, same time, same place. Thanks, Ornella.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, y'all.